If Haku was younger, he would have been perfect for this. But how do you think Haku would have done in probably No Holds Barred if it had been more popular in his prime? I know he was more of a street fighter, but as
Mhm.
a fighter and a wrestler yourself, what do you think about his reputation?
I'm sure it's well earned, and he's a big, strong, physical guy with a very good physical and athletic past. Um, I think, I mean, yeah, I mean, yes, he is. Probably really far too old to be doing this sort of thing now, and not just blood sport, but guys put in his miles. In the past, if he was somebody that was interested in doing no holds barred, I think he would have been fairly successful. Would he have been like the king of all kings and champ of champs? I don't think so. But I think that would have been a lot of it would have been due to the fact of having dual loyalties to doing professional wrestling and fighting at the same time, and the fact that pro wrestling, especially back then, wasn't really going to give him the extra time to really invest into a no holds barred career. And there would be things that would be really needed for him in terms of like how to deal with Brazilian jiu-jitsu, especially with the guard playing and all that. Such an unusual an unusual scenario to find yourself in, to be fighting a guy on the ground in that way, where they would willingly go to their back and work from there. Which in I think everybody's mind was a submissive position that would not have the ability to really put authority over your opponents. But as we learned, there's a lot you can do from there. And when you think about it, it's like all your faculties are in front of you now. You're watching, you're visually tracking and identifying things. You've got both hands, both feet, both shins and knees and elbows. So your ability to manipulate an object is actually a lot easier than old school catch and folk style, where you're wrestling in the down position, but you're making sure to keep your back off the mat. Which, funnily enough, that's what you see the most of in MMA now. You don't see people playing guard almost at all. It's more like a holdover spot until they get a little bit of a breath or recovery. Then they start fighting up in a wrestling fashion, giving up their back, hand fighting, and getting up to their feet. Hakuho the goat. We're not talking about sumo, bud. Yes, Haku also did sumo at some point, but not at the level of Hakuho. And Hakuho is amazing, but irrelevant. Uh, Anyways, Haku, I'm sure would have been terror back in the day. Um, and win, lose, or draw, mm, I don't think anybody would have been able to look at Haku and been like, "Oh, you lost a fight. Oh, you suck," or "You beat that guy. You're the great." I think everyone would have just been like, "Yeah, I think we all knew you were a badass." And while this is some sort of proof, like you're just Haku's that guy that if you beat him in a fight, you wouldn't try it again. And if you saw him lose a match, maybe, which it would be impressive to see if you could find him actually like being dominantly beaten. I just don't see it. He's that guy that like you would avoid on the come up because you're like, this would be way too much effort no matter what. Like you don't get out of this without getting hurt somehow if you even get the win. I just think he's that guy. He's just crazy tough and probably just hell to deal with. And you never get away with it with running into him without leaving hurt somehow. If he didn't hurt you and take you out.